Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and this clip that I'm about to show you from the Black Swan Capitalist, what she says here is kind of something we've been saying for a long time here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to show you something else I'm going to do with this, but then at the end of my video here, when we go to the member group at daixrp.com, I'm going to go through a theory that I've always kind of held back about the bigger plan, what this is all, what this all kind of tracks back to. I've touched on it in the past, but there's parts of it I haven't ever touched on. I'm going to do it today in the group. So first, let's start here. Remember, this is Lynette Zhang, she's a gold bug. And what we've said for a long time on this channel is that this is going to involve, this changeover to this new system is going to involve gold and, in my opinion, XRP and XLM. Listen to what she says.
The Bank for International Settlements publishes their money flower. And there is a small space in that money flower for those private cryptocurrencies. So I agree with you that the winners of this have already been chosen.
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
That's a thumbnail.
Right? And I think that you just named the two that are most likely that. And I think also Wall Street's totally adopted Bitcoin. The Bank for
Okay. They've already been chosen. I will give you a flashback. This was Kendra Hill, who was on social media back in the day and then disappeared. Cryptocurrency will be made illegal. This is not a maybe. This is a warning. Nothing is left up to chance. Our world is always planned years in advance. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail, and failure is not an option. Allowing additional currencies to exist when the world is only using one would be disruptive. So it will not be tolerated, and it will be easier to stop than you think. The illusion is that Bitcoin, for example, is untouchable. The reality is that it is government controlled through the use of mining pools. Any cryptocurrency aiming to be a decentralized digital currency will not survive. The one that we will use has already been chosen. And I think when she says one, she means XRP and XLM, because she mentioned both of them in the course of the series of things she put out. How about these apples, folks? Remember HSBC? Today they announced new digital assets custody service. And who are they going to use for that? That would be Mataco, which Ripple just bought. Listen to this. This is at Ripple Swell. This is Zodia Custody, Standard Chartered, HSBC, and Mataco discuss strategic objectives.
Collaboration is always much more successful, providing we have a set understanding of what the rules of the game are. And that really comes down to the regulatory aspect that we have that ensures that at the end of the day, the owner of the asset can sleep at night in the knowledge that they know what they own and they have legal title to it. It's being kept in a secure way.
Okay, you might remember this back HSBC. This is in 2017. HSBC taps former Ripple CEO for tech advisory board, almost as if this has been planned for a long time. Then this guy is the CEO of Mataco. Today at HSBC, one of the world's largest bank and financial services organizations, announced that it's working with Mataco as it plans to launch a new digital asset custody service for institutional clients who invest in tokenized securities. HSBC will be leveraging our platform, Harmonize, to unify security and management of its digital asset operations. Harmonize remains the market-leading institutional-grade digital asset custody and orchestration platform. And then he goes on and on. And here's a picture from Swell. There's Monica Long. Then we got this. This is from the Mataco handle. HSBC announces working with Mataco. This is huge, folks. Okay. Banking, even CoinDesk is touting it. Banking group HSBC will offer custody service for tokenized securities with the help of Mataco or Medico. Then we've got this lady. She's from the I'm not going to try to say her name, but she's from the DIFC authority. She's at Swell.
Dubai and the DIFC are leading the way and are shaping the future of finance. I believe that events like Swell are very important because it brings all the parties within that ecosystem in one place to talk to each other. So you will have the bankers, you will have the tech and innovation companies, you will have regulators, all of them sitting and talking to each other. And these are forums where we can discuss the challenges and put them on the table. Dubai is the hub of hubs because those companies can really leverage from and use.
The hub of hubs. And here's Monica Long on stage. President of Ripple.
We first established our presence here as a company in 2020, recognizing that here in Dubai is a place where the blockchain industry was really blossoming and further supported very critically by regulators in the UAE. So we can thank DFSA and VARA for setting some clear rules and regulations for an industry and innovation to take place.
Okay, then we have this. See, this was the one that was kind of missed, I think. Blockchain payments firm Ripple has partnered with African fintech, however you say that, on Afrique, to open new remittance corridors with Gulf Cooperation Council, UK, and Australia. I decided to look up what Gulf Cooperation Council was. This is Cooperation Council for Arab States of the Gulf, known as Gulf Cooperation Council, is a regional, intergovernmental, political, and economic union comprising Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. All current member states are monarchies, including this. Folks, you know what this looks like to me? This looks like XRP replacing the petrodollar to me. And then we've got Cowboy Crypto. We've got Brad Garlinghouse. He was at the DC FinTech. Let's watch a little bit of that.
Welcome to another very short trip in Washington for you.
Very short this time, but it's always good to be back in Washington.
You going to have to spend any time at the SEC while you're here this time?
Maybe a photo op? No, I'm kidding. No planned visits to the SEC, but I would welcome that. I mean, honestly, I think an open dialogue between industry and the SEC would be a step forward from where we are now.
Well, of course, what we're all referring to, and I think everyone in this room pretty much knows what I'm talking about, is the SEC case, which a judge ruled in your favor around XRP and whether or not it was improperly issued as a security. Are we calling that done and dusted, or are you bracing yourself for some kind of remedy or appeal process?
Well, look, I think the SEC clearly lost on everything that matters. There is a remedy process which continues forward. There's the unknown, and I know Chair Gensler is on stage later. You should ask him if they're going to appeal. That would be great. Look, that's not a knowable thing. From my point of view, they lost on the things they care most about. But by the same token, if they move it up the appellate ladder, it becomes more amplified as a decision of consequence. And so it'll be interesting. I think there's a strategic trade-off. I'm sure there's way more lawyers in this room than I'm comfortable, that you guys know more about it than I do. But I think it's to be determined whether or not I choose to appeal. I think regardless of whether they appeal, I feel really good about it. I think it's very clear the SEC now they lost 3 times with Ripple. They lost, I know the CEO of Grayscale is on, they lost the Grayscale case. And by the way, these are federal judges saying things, I'll quote Grayscale. The judge said that the SEC was being arbitrary and capricious. I mean, this is damning language from a federal judge. Like, you know, I also happen to believe, as long as I'm on a roll here, look, at some point when you have you keep trying to do the same thing and you keep having the same outcome, at some point you change your approach. Well, I hope it would be magical if Chair Gensler got up here and said, hey, we're going to change our approach. We have lost time and time and time again, so let's step back. Apparently we haven't had it right because the judicial branch is saying we keep getting it wrong. And so it would be great to have that constructive dialogue. I would be happy to go to the SEC today.
Okay.
Actually, today would be tough, but
yeah, I know he has to get on a flight to Dubai in a couple of hours, so we'll pass the message along to Chair Gensler when he arrives.
I would come back from Dubai here to meet with Chair Gensler.
Okay. On the record, he says this. So you mentioned that there was a win in the Ripple case and in the Grayscale case, or a loss on the other hand for the SEC. But of course, those aren't the only high-profile cases the SEC is currently pursuing. They've brought cases against Binance, against Coinbase. Does the Ripple case teach us anything about what might happen in those cases? How do you view the debate around XRP in the context of those cases?
Look, I've followed the Coinbase case a little more closely, and so maybe I can comment there a little bit more. I think that the challenge has been, and again, even if you read or listen to what the judge has said in some of the early Coinbase procedural stuff, you know, the SEC is not trending well there. And again, if at some point you would think if you keep getting losses, you would say, okay, wait a minute, let's step back, let's reevaluate, or even better, let's be part of championing a legislative solution. Let's not go to Congress and testify and say, the laws are clear. The laws clearly could be much clearer at a minimum. And, you know, I think what we're seeing in the Coinbase case, the world is not just a simple Howey test. And we have seen some momentum around legislative solutions. Obviously, Washington, it's hard to get things passed in Washington. In some ways, that's a good thing. In some ways, that's bad. But I'm hopeful that in 2024, we do see some legislative momentum that actually does provide that clarity. And it would be a magical thing if the SEC were part of that, working constructively with the industry to find.
Gary can't do it. He's captured. His masters are Jamie Dimon and friends, so he can't do it. That's a waste of time. Now we're going into the. You should go and watch the rest of that. We are going into the private group now. You can go join at daixrp.com. Today I'm talking. I'll call it my. This was all planned. This Ripple thing was all planned theory. Okay. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that in the group we talk about my all this was planned theory. Thanks for listening. That's at daixrp.com.